Going into the 2024 season, everyone is talking about these teams to make the playoff and make some noise. But every single year in CFB, no matter what our preseason judgments are, there's a dark horse team that comes out of nowhere and makes everyone look silly. And there's one team I have in mind, a sleeping giant hiding in the shadows that might be the most slept on team this season. And most of the reason is because they went 5-7 last year. Do I sound crazy? In this video, I'm going to break down the 3 key reasons why the Nebraska Cornhuskers are due for a breakout 2024 and preview their season. If I haven't changed your mind by the end of it, let me hear it in the comments, and if you're a Nebraska fan, go down below and comment, "Go Huskers." This is my first preview video of the summer. Which team do you guys want to see next? If you don't know who I am, I'm Saturday Shenanigans, and I post amazing college football content all off-season long. We are so close to 10K, it would mean a lot if you guys could help me out with that goal and hit that sub button. First, let's break down what happened in 2023 for Nebraska. Once again, 5-7 is not great by any stretch of the imagination. However, when you look deeper, it must be put into context. They had a first-year head coach named Matt Rhule. We'll talk about him more extensively later in the video. Here's the kicker. 5 out of those 7 losses were by a touchdown or less, including games against Minnesota, Michigan State, Maryland, Wisconsin, and number 17 ranked Iowa. Casual fans could boil it down to bad luck, but the real reason for this was a horrendous and unusual -17 turnover margin. Their quarterbacks, Heinrich Haarberg, Chubba Purdy, and Jeff Sims, all had trouble. This margin was ranked 130th in the FBS. That is the second worst in the entire country. So why am I mentioning this, and why is it good news? This is very hard to repeat. Matt Rhule even said it in an interview himself. If that -17 was cut down to even 13 or 12, this would have easily been a bowl-eligible team in year 1. If you want to build your program and establish culture from the ground up, Nebraska is in a perfect position with Rhule. His track record says it all. He got started as a head coach in 2013 with the Temple Owls out of the American Conference, and in just 2 years, he took them from a 2-win program to back-to-back 10-win seasons. Then in 2017, he got promoted to a Power 5 level with the Baylor Bears. Now, this was no easy task. The Bears were coming off a scandal with Art Briles. That program was in the dirt. I actually made a full video about it. In 2017, Baylor was arguably one of the worst programs in all of college football, notching a 1-11 overall record with only 1 win in conference. What happens 2 years later? Yet again, Rhule strikes his magic. The Bears go 11-3 with a Sugar Bowl appearance, finishing 12th in the AP poll. According to college football expert Joel Klatt, Matt Rhule is one of the best builders in college football. He can establish a culture in a short amount of time. Rhule mentioned that the Cornhuskers are already ahead of schedule in relation to where they were supposed to be in year 1. Instead of a 1 or 2 win full rebuild season, this team went way above expectation, notching 5, and should have been more than that. Nebraska is already looking like a year 3 Matt Rhule team headed into 2024, and that's the scary part. Okay, enough yapping. One of the most important aspects of a team is obviously their personnel. So what does this Cornhuskers squad bring? The Huskers have the 3rd most returning starters in the country for the upcoming year, including all 5 offensive linemen, which is crucial for controlling the game. I don't even have to go that deep into how important the offensive line is. Just look at the 2 teams that played in the national championship last year. Come on. To go along with this already established leadership, they have the 23rd ranked recruiting class, including Dylan Raiola, a 5-star talent, the best quarterback in the nation, and he has a chance of starting as a freshman. Let's talk transfer portal. Although it may not blow you away, the Huskers have the 56th ranked transfer class going into 2024. On paper, not amazing. However, they filled the holes that they need to be successful, including picking up a 4-star talent from the University of Oregon, Dante Dowdell, to run behind that fantastic line. They also needed a few extra weapons for their quarterback, so they snagged Jamal Banks, big body 6'4", 205 wide receiver from Wake Forest, as well as Isaiah Nair, who previously played at Texas. Of course, they play in the Big Ten, an absolute gauntlet of a conference, but wait a minute. they somehow managed to play the 83rd ranked schedule in the nation and catch a massive break. In the non-conference, Nebraska plays all 3 games at home, which is an advantage. One against UTEP, one against Northern Iowa, then a huge game on September 7th versus Colorado. I've stated in previous videos the Buffaloes are going to be a lot better than what they were last year. I expect 7 or 8 wins, but if the Cornhuskers can slow down the tempo of the game, play their kind of ball, slow Shedeur Sanders, I can easily find them winning at home. The first 4 games in Big Ten play are very winnable. I'm not high on any of these teams. At home versus Illinois, on the road against Purdue, back at home against Rutgers, and then at Indiana. Then a tough 3-game stretch arises. They have to play in Columbus against Ohio State, and I'm going to be honest, no one this season is going to walk in there and beat the Buckeyes. They are dropping that game. But they return home against the UCLA Bruins, a team that is going through coaching staff changes. Not a problem. Continuing with a mid-November game against USC. I'm not quite sure because USC has uncertainty at that quarterback position. It might be Miller Moss. It might be Jaden Mayava, but a whole new slate for Lincoln Riley. This game's up in the air. Finally, to finish the year, it's on the road at Iowa. It will be a classic Big Ten slugfest, and I think they have a better chance of winning this one on the road than against USC and Ohio State. Overall, I'm factoring the genius head coach Matt Rhule, the culture he's establishing with what he's bringing in on the other side, some amazing talent, a great recruiting class. They have a lot of returning guys, an easy schedule. I'm very confident this Nebraska team could win at least 9 games. If they can keep the turnovers low, control the game, and play their ball, this could be a sleeper to make the college football playoff, and no one's even talking about it. Everyone wants to talk about Ohio State and Oregon and USC and all these teams out of the Big Ten, but watch out for the Big Red. Boom, that was the end of the video. Make sure to smack that like button and subscribe if you want to see more of these preview videos. And as always, if you want to see your team, let me know in the comments. I've been Saturday Shenanigans, your home for unfiltered college football content, and I'll see you guys soon.